Hello there, welcome back. Today this video is going to have to do with I'm going to lay out the area where we're going to put our shelter in, install our shelter. The only thing is the ground, as you might be able to see on camera, is still too wet to get our tractor up here with the backhoe. It weighs right at 3,000 pounds right now, so this is way too wet. I don't want to get it up here, number one, get it stuck, or number two, tear up what we've done so far. All right, let's start getting a little bit more in depth here with describing what we're going to be doing. The thing to keep in mind this whole time on this whole series of videos we're going to do is, well, number one, I want it to be safe for us, but number two is we are going to do this as economical as we can. So yeah, we could, a lot of people use, I've seen videos, people use septic tanks. Be nice, but we'd have to buy the septic tank and then pay somebody to install it. So what we're going to do is, instead of doing, yeah, we could do a solid wall one, but there'd be a whole lot more money to build forms and whatnot. So I'm going to, the first idea that we have is to have a poured concrete floor and then build concrete block walls up to wherever the roof line may be, which is going to be, I'm thinking, right above grade. And then we will have a waterproof membrane plastic moisture barrier at the bottom, just like you do on a slab. Put a little bit of rebar in it, not much, because it's not going to be that big, and the membrane will totally one piece go around the whole thing. And then I may even do 2 layers of membrane. Idea being is you don't want any moisture to gather in there and cause mold. I'm gonna have the roof, as of right now, is probably going to be 6x6 treated beams, just to make them into a solid roof line all the way across the block. I'm thinking maybe the second to the last course have that sitting there, then another course on top of it, and tie it in, have the walls of the block solid with rebar in it. And I'm not sure if I'll have anything on top of the 6x6 beams other than the membrane, but I do plan on, after that, mounting dirt up on top of that and maybe some rock on top of that. Idea being is hopefully none of that will be disturbed if a tornado was to come through the valley here. So that's the kind of the plan right now. It could always change. As far as the door, we're going to have some kind of metal steel door. It will just have a latch on the outside here, and then on the inside we're planning on having hooks mounted. I'll just say hooks, like steel hooks mounted to the door and go inside. Then we could put a steel bar between the block and the hooks to that's the best we could do to try to keep it shut, just while the storm is coming by. That's really the plan right now. Well, another thing is, I don't want to go too wide, even though you're tempted to. Number one, more money, but number two, if we go wider and deep may not be the total issue, but the width is, because if I go too wide, we put stuff on top of it up here, I don't want to have to put another beam down the center for support like you would on a house. So we are probably going to go around 8 foot wide. That's the number I'm thinking of. So I'll probably have my hole that I'm going to dig here, I guess hole, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to dig it about 10 foot square. That way we can have room to work around and get our membrane down there. I'm probably going to put some gravel down on the bottom of it to try to help with a little drainage, maybe even put some perforated pipe in there and slope it to where it comes out here. That's not necessary for when we're in there, that's for when we're not in there. You just want to try to prevent the moisture from staying in there. And then the last thing we'll do, and I haven't really got concrete yet on how to do it, because of the way I'm thinking about doing the roof, is we got to have airflow in there. That's another thing for mold and moisture. So we're going to have a air inlet, and then we'll buy a vent that has, you've probably seen them on houses or barns before, has a turnstile, and that'll naturally suck what air goes in back out, so we can have some airflow in there. And that would also help us if we were in there for X amount of hours. Like I said, we don't plan on being in there forever. We have a closet in our hallway that is like emergency stuff. If we were to like be stranded in our house in a snowstorm or something. So that'll be part of the plan, is to get some water or whatever and take it out here with us. Don't just want to keep water in there forever, because it can go stale or whatever. But okay, so I'm going to start off today. I'm just going to be staking out where we're going to be digging. This is drying up here a little bit. The bad part is, just about every day next week there's a chance of rain. So we I don't know when we're going to be able to actually get in here and start digging. It is drying up. The camera is kind of sitting down where all the mud is. So, you know, we got to be able to get in here and turn comfortably. Another thing is, you see how I'm up on a bank here. The reason Rama did this is, if she was down to the level where the camera's at right now, the backhoe cannot reach up that high. So this bank will stay like this as long as we're digging it out. That goes for the whole bank area. So whenever we're finished with it, we're at to the point which we don't have very much more that we're going to dig out. We don't want to get too close to these trees. So we've only got maybe about as far back as I'm going to be digging the shelter. That may be as far as we end up ever taking it back anyway. So, except for where the shelter is at. So I'm going to get started here and lay out my tin. I'm by myself because Robin went to Misty's house. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to lay out the tin that way. I'm going to try, but it's kind of hard to do. I can get it close maybe. So, all right, let's get started. All right. Tallest area looks like right here, right in this area. Try to keep my tape measure down here in the dry area so I don't get it all muddy. Right there is 8 foot, so I want to go about another 2 foot past that. Just lay these stakes down there for now. There's an 8 foot. really don't think we'll have to go 12 foot. So it'd be, so I can go 2 foot each way. So that's probably where I'm going to need to be. I just want to make sure we got enough room in there to get around, get in there and work around. So there's. Alright, so go another 2 foot past here. Hopefully I'm still in the camera shot right now. I'm going to use a bigger stake. Let's see. Yeah. Try this one. Yeah, it does. It's good enough for now. All right, I think I'm still in the camera shot. Now, I'm not sure how to get my depth because I'm not really exactly sure where the door's going to be. You know, it's going to be sunken in. So I'm just going to go from where the bank is at right now. It's the only thing I really got to go by. So let me see if I can get up here and lay that out. Let's see. 8 foot right there. All right. I know you're for sure not going to be able to see these. I thought I had some marker paint, but they were empty. Now when we go to dig this, and I have Robin with me, we'll be able to get our area square to where we're not going to be messing up the walls. I'm just doing a basic layout today is all I'm doing. If I can just get it. See if I can do it by myself here, I don't know. So, the thing I really hate about this area where we live is we got these briar bushes everywhere. Man. And they're like getting in some kind of trap. There's one right here. Of course, my Buddy, they stick everywhere. This is not a good idea. Yeah, no, this is not going to be square. Yeah, this was not a good idea. I'm going really extra careful because I'm right close to the edge of this. But mainly it's all these briars. See, they've caught onto all these trees like Velcro. Alright. Yeah, the fun part is you're not even going to be able to see these. Alright. Alright, there I am. Well, I guess you can kind of see him. Let me get the camera and show you. Alright, there's the stake here, and if you look up, it's right there somewhere. Maybe on the video you can see it. I don't have the capabilities, or if I do, I've never found on this GoPro camera, I've never found how to zoom it in. It was great how much money you pay for these things. There's one, and the other one is right through there. So that's 8 foot from the bank too. So, and then what we'll do when I have Robin here, I may go ahead and clear some of this out. So we can get up here and get it square. So for right now, this should be, got the camera right up my face, this should be 12 foot, have it measured. So right now we're shooting for a 12 by 12 square. So we'll see what happens when we go to lay it out. So if you can kind of envision us cutting out this bank, and remember, whenever we get it, the depth cut out to that square, then we'll be able to dig it down just a little bit, because we won't need to be up high anymore with the backhoe. So I'll need to kind of figure out the height of everything so I can figure out how much block I'm going to need. But the first step will, like I said, will be we're going to get some gravel here soon anyway. So we'll get some, first thing we'll end up buying, turn the camera back around. I'm such a professional at my camera work. So the first thing, just thinking off the top of my head right now, that we'll end up buying is going to be gravel. We'll buy some moisture barrier plastic, and we'll buy, we may have enough wood to build the frame for the floor, and we'll just need a little bit of rebar. And if we can go ahead and get the concrete for it, we'll get it and pour the floor. But that's the first step anyway, is doing what I just mentioned. And so the next time I talk to you, I'll have figured out how much block I'll probably need. I already pretty much know I'll need about probably 5 or 6, just guessing. 8 foot 6x6. I thought about using 4x4, but 6x6 would be better because we're going to have stuff, you know, piled on top of it. And if a tree was to fall while we're down in there, more than likely it won't come all the way through. So that's where we're at. So one more look here before we get started. I'll probably have some marker paint, and so the next time you see this, maybe it'll already have marker paint on the ground. Robin may be back tonight, but she may be back tomorrow. Just depends on how long it takes her and Missy to do what they're going to be doing. But that's a start, getting it marked out. I mentioned earlier about the diversion ditch thing. I haven't had time to mess with that. So I don't know if I'll get that done today or tomorrow or whenever. It's not, I think there's a chance of rain Monday. I know there's a chance of rain 4 out of the 5 days next week. So I think Monday is going to be all right. After that, I believe there's a chance of rain every day again. So it'd be nice if this dries out enough to get the tractor in here tomorrow and get some of this done. Now the other thing you worry about, well, it's not really worry about, but if you start digging it out and you can't get it all done, or if we get the slab done, is it caving in. But hopefully it won't. It's pretty hard dirt. This is mostly all clay and rock out here. So I mean, you could almost build a house right on top of this ground and it won't sink. So anyway, that's where we're at. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check back, because I've been looking around on the internet, kind of on YouTube, on these videos, and people do them all different kinds of ways. I wish I can afford to do it some of the ways, because that's how I really like to do it. Like I said before, I'd really like to have a cellar so we can put our preservatives in there. Maybe we'll be able to have, I was thinking if and Robin kind of agreed with me, but if we made a cellar, we'd have shelving in there. So we need to make the cellar bigger to have room if we had to go in there. So hopefully if a storm does hit, it's only going to be me and Robin and the dogs here. So if we have company, we'll all still go in there, but we may be sitting on top of each other. But it is what it is. At least we'd have somewhere to go. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon. We're really going to concentrate on this. I really want to, because like I said in the previous video, the tornado that touched down was, I haven't really mapped it out, but I know where the area it was in. It was about 20 or 30 minutes from here, which in the grand scheme of things is pretty close. So it's time to quit thinking about having a shelter and just go ahead and do it. One other thing I wanted to add real quick. The reason that we are building it with a door facing out like this. Is the main reason is we're getting older. So if we had one with a hatch which you open up, which would be the better one, kinda, but maybe not, because we live here in the woods. Because if a tree fell down on top of it, you know, this area here, we've got trees behind us, but nothing right here. That, I mean, it would have to be pretty specific fall, I mean, to come this far. But anyway, that's the main two reasons is because of being right here in the woods where it's at, and we don't want to risk climbing down in there. And I know it's life or death at that point, but we want to be able to climb in and out. And if we do decide to put some shelving in there for preservatives and whatnot, it'd be a whole lot easier for us just to open this door up and go in instead of trying to climb down a hatch or a ladder. So, and thinking about it, it'll give you more room. You know, you won't have a ladder in the way. So anyway, I'm just, as you can see, I'm designing off the top of your head. So remember, if you're going to comment, that's fine. I love comments. I don't get hardly any comments, but when I do, they're genuinely helpful tips. I had somebody comment on the last video telling me not to climb down in the culvert pipe because they knew somebody that did, and they drowned. But this creek that I've talked about us going in, even when it storms, it doesn't get more than a foot. There's been one time when we had a bunch of snow and it rained and it melted, and in the rain it did get about 2 foot deep, but it's usually not more than a foot and a half deep, and the creek is not but maybe 10 foot wide. It's not a huge creek. So, and right there where that pipe comes through, that pipe is huge. If I think about it, I'll film it for you. I've done it before. But so, even though I appreciate the comment and the input, that's really not a factor. I mean, we don't go down there. The only time I'm going to get in this shelter is if it's a tornado. We've been through a lot of storms already since we've been here. The trailer is tied down very good. We've been through a lot of windstorms. So, like I said, you know, we've got trees that could fall down, but you can't live around here, you know, worried so much that you're going to cut all the trees down, because then you won't be living in the woods. So, it's just one of those things you deal with. So, but anyway, we are going to get started on this, and hopefully this will not take a real long time, because we have so much other stuff we want to get done this summer, but this is very important to get done. So anyway, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next time. God bless.